My name is Ken. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Raised in Brooklyn, New York. I was actually more of a Chinatown guy. Bay Area Mat, Go Shadows, where I'm from. Go Shadows. Yeah. I wasn't. I never joined a gang because my family was the gang. My uncle was the head of the Go Shadow, Peter Chin, Kichai. So I was actually denied being in the gang most of my youth, teenage years. Every time I walked down Chinatown, I get chased out of there and brought back to Brooklyn because I wasn't allowed to be in Chinatown. When I was 17, that was when my uncle, Peter Chen, got locked up. The feds came on a RICO charge. So he got locked up to 30 years. He did 20 years, but out of the 30 years, but they locked him up. And when they locked him up and his whole crew up, I figured that, hey, my uncle's not around, even though it's sad that he's not around, but I could go down to Chinatown. I could go and do my thing. And my thing was that at the age of 10, my father was gunned down. My father was like the brains of Go Shadow, was giving them hits, how to deal with business, how to run gambling parlors, how to do deals with other rival gangs, without causing any problem. My dad was all about making money. That's what the Go Shadow did, because they had the bronze, but they don't have the brains. So my father was the brain, and he was the third person in that position that passed away. Everyone in that position, they took him out. For some reason, Go Shadow was strong enough because they were like in New York City. They were like the gang of gangs. They actually ruled the other gangs because they didn't care about death or anything. They would just go out. You want war? We go war. That's it. You got guns? We got war. You got people? We don't care. We're ready to die. That's their concept back then. So that's why in New York City, the Asian gangs, Go Shadows was one of the most notorious of all. So my father got gunned down, and throughout these years, ever since the age of 10, all I thought of was revenge. Revenge, revenge, revenge. I don't care if my father was, if he was a bad guy or a good guy. The only thing I see was that he was my dad. He was my father. And somebody took him away from me, I want that person dead. So I waited the opportunity. Eventually my uncle got locked up, so went down to Chinatown, joined a gang, and joined a crew with Robert and Robin. And Robin was my dado at that time. He was appointed by my uncle to take over, and not to embarrass the Go Shadow name. Even though they were in jail, they said, make us proud. Don't embarrass us. So that's how I became a member of the Go Shadow. I did my time because when in 1991 they came down with the RICO investigation, another racketeering, because there was a few bodies that was a homicide that was caused by the Go Shadows. The Mobile gas station in East Broadway, the LaQ incident, and there was some other shootouts and that was all involved with the Go Shadows, like the BTK, the Born to Kill gang. We had two of our members that died in Winnie's Bar, a very close friend of mine, and then we took it out on the other BTK members. We hired other people from other states because he was bearing down on us from NYPD and the feds, so we had to call for outside help, so to mask up that it wasn't us doing it. But eventually the feds knew everything. All right. Once we got locked up in 1992, everything came to light, and that's when I started doing time. In the beginning of 1993, actually.